Okay guys, here we are digging inside the quarantine zone, aka my front yard. This house was built in 1814 and I just started digging here last summer and have found all kinds of cool stuff. I'm right near the road here, so sorry about the traffic noise, but there are about 1 million signals that I haven't dug up yet. This one's reading a low 80s, which could be a silver dime, maybe a piece of aluminum, I don't know. Let's check it out. So it's in the plug here somewhere. Well, that appears to be a memorial penny, but that's a weird signal for a copper penny, so let's take another look. Nope. Guess that was it. Memorial penny. Maybe we'll get some electrolysis on that to get a year off of it later. Alright, let's find another target. Okay guys, we've got another 81 signal. This one reading 4 to 6 inches. Actually very close to the last one where we found that memorial penny. So, same signal, same ground mineralization. So let's see if it's another copper penny, hopefully an older one. Got something here. There it is. Indeed, it is another penny. This one is Canadian. From 1962. I can read that right away. Okay. So, let's find some quarters and dimes from that era, and we'll have silver. Let's just check to make sure there's nothing else. Alright, let's find another target. Okay guys, this is a weird, jumbled up signal. Ranging from the 50s to the low 90s, so who knows. But why not? Let's throw caution in the wind. Let's dig her up. I hope this video is a little bit of a relief from the constant coronavirus coverage that's plaguing the airwaves recently. Although I do have to admit I enjoyed watching some of it early on for all of the lies we were getting told by the CDC, including the masks don't help whopper. And I'm a physician, I'm not just talking out of my asshole. Further more recent studies coming out of China are showing that here's a nail of some kind. I think that's iron though, so we should still have some. Oh yeah, I got something here, I think. Anyway, so the inoculum is proving very important. That is how many virus particles get you on the initial infection. It seems to correlate the severity of disease. If those particles ride on, if they ride on a droplet, and the droplet can be stopped by even a bandana, which is what CDC is recommending now. It's going to be better than nothing. So I wish they wouldn't have lied to us. I wish they would have just said, hey guys, we screwed up. We didn't order enough masks. Will you please not hoard them so that the healthcare workers can use them? Thanks. But no, they just played us like a bunch of sheeple, a bunch of idiots. Said, nah, masks don't do anything. In fact, they'll probably make it worse. What a load of horse shit. You know, it looks like a square nail. So that'd be pre-1880. Let's see if we have anything else in here. It can't have been all of it. Let's see. Darn it. Yeah, I think that was it. Oh well. Attacking a square nail. You know, that might have been a roofing nail. I wonder if that was, what the heck did I do with it? I wonder if that was copper roofing nail, and that's why it rang so high. Anyway, alright, let's find another target. Okay guys, it's the next morning. Decided to come out even though it's about 22 degrees. And I found a 44 wheat penny, which I think, I'm going to have to look it up, but I think that year they used a lot of surplus military brass, like rifle shell casings and artillery shell casings, as raw material for the pennies. I'm going to look that up, but kind of a cool little bit of history. But yeah, so I'm in the backyard now. Bright sunny morning. I'm going to do a little bit more detecting here. Hopefully come up with some other cool stuff. But that's a good start to the day. Cool find. A little bit of history. All right, let's find another target. Okay, not too far away from that 44 wheat penny. Probably about 3 feet away. I've got a jumpy signal that's kind of all over the place, but it's pretty consistently hitting some low 80s signals. So let's see if we can make something of that. Right about there. Let's see. I keep saying, you know, oh, that's a silver dime signal, but I haven't come up with a silver dime for you guys. Well, I guess I did on my last metal detecting video. I found one in Ohio, but keep getting signals that sound like a silver dime, and then it turns out to be a copper penny. So maybe I'm gonna have to. Okay, we got it out of the hole. Let's see if we can you see that. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. So it's out here somewhere. Now let's see what it's reading. Before we dig it up, let's see. 80, 81. So yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be another penny. But let's see what the date is. Let's see. There it is. Looks like a penny indeed. Oh, it's a memorial. But it's going to be not real recent because it didn't give a zinc signal. 1962 D, 62 Denver. Pretty good shape. Yeah. Back then they were still made out of solid copper. It wasn't copper plated zinc like they are now, so it gives a different signal on the machine. But okay, 62 copper penny. Let's find another target. Okay, I can't give up that easily. I was walking out and found a signal that's jumping between the 50s and then the mid 80s, like 86. So in a perfect world, that would be a silver dime or quarter and a nickel. Let's see. Okay. It's reading kind of deep with the pinpointer, like 8 inches, so that's kind of a good sign. All right, let's get that centered. I mean, not the pinpointer, not this thing. I mean the pinpointing function on the detector. Let's see. Okay, signal value is actually going up. This is encouraging. Let's see here. What do I have here? Oh, here we go. What's this? What's this? Okay, it's nickel sized. It is a nickel. It's a Canadian nickel from 1964. See if you can focus in on that. Okay, a 64 Canadian nickel. Let's see. And you know, that is awfully shiny for being in the ground for that long. I have to look that up. That might have some silver content in it. Usually nickels don't come out looking like that. So we're going to set that down and see if there's another target here. Let's see. Well, I don't think so. All right, I think that's it. But that is that's a very pretty nickel for being in the ground that long. I wonder if that has a low silver content. The signal was also confusing, so. All right, I'm gonna look that up. Let's do that and go inside now because it's cold. Okay, good news and bad news on the 64 Canadian nickel. It has no silver content. That's the bad news. The good news is, it's hard to see, but in front of the beaver, there's an extra wave line, water wave line. That's actually a mint error, and a pretty uncommon one. So this nickel is actually worth some money. So it's treasure. It's treasure after all. It's actually worth quite a bit more than if it were solid silver. So, hey, good stuff. Okay, let's find another target. All right, guys, so now it's a couple hours later. It's a little warmer outside. It's in the 30s now, I think. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to detect this area here, which is, I used to use this bed to grow vegetables, but it never produced very well, being right next to the garage. It's not full sun. So what I just did a couple hours ago was I ordered 6 baby chickens. So I'm going to detect this area, clear out, pull out this bed, and put in a chicken house right up against the garage and an enclosure here for them, basically for the nighttime, so they don't get chomped on by our local fishers and foxes and coyotes and whatnot. So yeah, and then I'm moving more of my gardens. You can kind of see the two raised beds behind that bush, and I'm going to open up a big area over there for more gardening land. So putting in many more vegetable gardens and getting some chickens this year because I am worried about food supply in the coming months, being that, we're hearing that the COVID-19 cases in the States will probably peak in May or June. There might be a lot of farm workers who go down sick, and I imagine it's possible that fresh produce might be hard to come by. So, for what it's worth, you may want to do the same. Anyway, let's find a target and carry on. Okay guys, here we are again, backyard bonanza. Got a interesting signal here that in my experience in the backyard has been a rifle cartridge, like a brass spent bullet casing. So let's see if that's what we have here. Now, beeping in an annoying way. So this is another day. This is about day 3 of backyard digging. And oingo boingo. Oh, there you go. Let's see, what's that? Well, I can't really tell. Looks like a 308 maybe? Something like that. So, very distinct signal. Big and brass. Okay, let's find another target. Okay guys, this one's exciting. Tight, mid to high 80s signal. Not too crunchy, so could be something good. Let's see. I mean, a little crunchy, but not horrible. Okay. Let's find some silver so I can put on my happy face at my happy treasure hunting in a quarantine zone face. Let's see here, guys. Come on, let's find it. All right. Okay, now it's reading in the 90s, which is actually not good. Suggests it might be aluminum, and it is aluminum, but it's a dog license. I love finding these. I love finding dog licenses. Let's see. 1995, a 25-year-old, I guess that's a rabies, yeah, 25-year-old rabies vaccination tag. Cool. Shout out to the puppies. My dog Maggie is definitely keeping me happy and sane during the lockdown. All right, let's find another target. Okay guys, I've got a big piece of round iron here. Don't know what it is yet. I'm already about 8 inches deep and I found the edge of it. So let's dig it up and find out what it is together. Look at this sucker, guys. This is the footwear of a large beast of burden. Check that out. So this is actually a great this will be great for electrolysis. So we'll clean it up, we'll brush off the dirt and the rust, like the rust nodules, and then we'll put it in an electrolysis bath and see how clean we can get it. See if we can get it preserved. See if maybe there's a maker's mark on it. But very cool. Very excited about that. Glad I dug that iron signal. All right. Okay, guys. I figure we can all use a little bit of luck these days, so I think it's pretty lucky that I found this cool old horseshoe. What I'm going to do now is show you guys how to rig up a ghetto stuff around the house electrolysis system, which will help to blow the rust off this guy from the inside out while not damaging the metal too bad. So this is commonly done restoring valuable relics. While this one's not monetarily valuable, it's cool to me. I want to get it restored so I can hang it over a doorway. So this is how this is going to work. I'm going to use a 9-volt battery. I don't know if this has enough amperage. I mean, I know it does for smaller things. I don't know if it's going to have enough amperage for a horseshoe. If it doesn't, I'll convert DC inverter charging cable for it. You've got to use direct current. You can't use alternating current right out of the wall, so you need to run it through an inverter. So if this doesn't work, obviously batteries always provide direct current. If this isn't enough, we'll do that. So what we do here is we'll hook the positive up to the battery there, and then on the other end of the positive, you've got the sacrificial, is it an anode that's positive? Anode, I think. Can't remember. Sacrificial anode. So I made this out of a piece of mild steel, 1/4 inch mild, or maybe 5/8, not 5/8, maybe 3/8, mild steel bar stock. So this will deteriorate with the process. You could just use a nail or something simple like that, but I decided I wanted to get fancy and have a lot of surface area of that mild steel. So that's positive, that goes in the solution, and then the other end of the positive will connect to the relic. The solution is water. It's a saturated sodium carbonate solution, which you can get in this form, superwashing soda. All that does is cause the water to be optimally electrically conductive. Sodium carbonate is the best way to do that cheaply and from, grocery store stuff. You can use sodium bicarb if you want. Baking soda, it's just not as good. You can use table salt, again, just not as good. So you're going to get the most conduction with sodium carbonate. So I'm going to mix up this solution and we'll go outside and fire it up. You want to do this outside because this process will produce a little bit of hydrogen gas, which is lots of fun to play with, but if you're not expecting to be playing with it, it can be kind of dangerous. So hydrogen gas outside. All right, I'll set it up. Okay, here we are on the back porch with plenty of ventilation. Here's your positive sacrificial anode. Here's a battery hooked up, and the negative electrode connected to our relic. So let's see what happens here. So I hit this with the wire wheel, brass wire wheel. Got a lot of the junk off, so let's see here. Okay. Alright. You can see a little bit of bubbling happening. A little bit of bubbling. So it's working. It's working. So we'll probably put it in here. I'm going to let it run for... Yeah, that's the hydrogen gas that's bubbling off there. I'm going to let it work for an hour or so and then come and check in on it. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully 9 volts will be have enough amperage. It's got enough voltage. Just not sure if it has enough oomph. All right, let's check back in a bit. Okay, this is just a minute or so later. I wanted to give you guys a better view of the reaction chooching along there. So if you can see the bubbles there, and the positive, and again at the negative. You know, some of them are, you can see some of them coming off of the relic as well. Let's see, but it's very apparent where the metal is bare. You know, ideally, I mean, I guess I could pull that end out so the alligator clip wasn't reacting, but I don't think it would. Then it would get uneven cleanup. So we'll leave it this way for a minute, and if it seems like it's not getting enough, we'll switch that up. Okay. Okay, guys, here it is after about an hour or so with the battery. It is working. The rust is coming off, but I think I'm going to hook up that AC. It's actually not a. It's not an inverter. It's a rectifier. An inverter changes DC to AC. A rectifier changes AC to DC. So I'm going to hook up that rectifier, change the water, and see if that works a little bit faster. But it is working. Rust is coming off. All right, let's keep going. Okay, now we're cooking. I hot wired a 5-volt rectifier here, connected it up to my little system, and there we go. We're cooking. Now we're cooking. So you can see the bubbles coming off the horseshoe. Yeah, if you're going to set up a system like this, just don't. maybe don't. It's kind of dangerous, but if you are careful, you should be fine. But you didn't hear it from me. Okay, so this is how it looks after a couple hours in the electrocution special there. You can see here the square nail holes on the bottom. Can't find a maker's mark or anything. It's a little bit. It's going to need more time in the tank if I'm going to want to get everything off. But kind of like how it looks now. A cursory Googling. This appears to be a bar-tipped draft shoe. So for a big draft horse, might be early 20th century or might be from the 19th century. It's pretty hard to nail down apparently, but pretty neat. It was awfully deep in the ground, and you know, it's been a long time since there were draft horses working on my property, so yeah, we'll call it 100 plus years old. Anyway, I'm probably going to clean that up a little bit more and then hang it over a door somewhere, but neat find, and just a good little run of plague time metal detecting in the backyard. Okay, just to wrap up, here's a better view of the extra water line on the Canadian nickel that I found. So, guys, be prepared. Stay healthy in the next few months and weeks, and help your neighbors, okay? We're all going to need it. Thanks a lot for watching.